Welcome to the Civ and the Pylon. It is I, Corey, your beloved Pylon.
Sam. Almost birthday boy, Civ.
Yeah, dude, what are you turning? You're turning 14 times 2 plus 3?
Plus 4.
Oh, man.
It's my second 16th birthday.
Your second 16th birthday, so you're 32.
Good arithmetic, Corns.
Dude, math is hard.
I will be tomorrow. I'm not 32 yet. But, yeah.
And you're going to celebrate by hanging out in a vehicle with your parents, right?
You know it. Getting a ride back home from the very lovely Elder Lowers.
Hell yeah. Dude, just pack all your shit up. This podcast will be easier.
I'm almost there. Yeah.
And
I just have a couple of things to stash away. I'm pretty fucking close.
yeah, dude, you could get a job. We could still do our little barbecue hustle, and I'll actually do that because I need you to cook sides for me really bad.
Well, I'm taking it into consideration. Don't think. I think about it. I promise. I actually this year it's like one of the 3, since I've been working birthdays that I don't work on because I've never been a part of a meaningful, so it's hard to take time off. But some of it's gonna be in a car, but it's tight.
It is tight. I never work my birthday. I have my
Or you don't work birthdays or Sundays.
No. I took
the Wobblies couldn't do that for me. I don't know. I tried.
I have like my first like kind of corporate like desk job ever, and I like asked everybody I knew who had like some sort of job where you had to like request for time off, and these motherfuckers asked for a reason, and it's just like, dude, I come from the land of like construction where like the foremans are like thankful you gave them any notice, let alone 2 weeks, and now you need a reason from me. And I don't know. The original reason was like I wanted to go down to Sunrise, Florida, and watch the Panthers play. Not gonna lie, but that just doesn't seem like a good choice because I'm not sure I'll be vaccinated by then.
I was just gonna say, for Florida, I think you want the vaccination.
Yeah, dude.
Because I'm pretty sure they don't think it ever existed.
No.
Yeah.
No, it was canceled. That like they don't believe in cancel culture, but they canceled COVID.
But they canceled the shit out of COVID. That's confirmed by the only Floridian I know. Also, by the way.
I don't know. What's your favorite number? Hello?
Putting me on the spot, Corey. Let's go with 21.
21.
Yeah.
What's 21 divided by 3?
It's 3. It's 3. It's 7.
7?
Yeah.
7.
Yeah, tell me about 7, Corey.
7. 7's my favorite number. 2. And 7 is a very lucky number this week for 2 teams in the NHL. God, that was so cheesy. We're leaving that in now.
That was a really nice preamble, Corey. That was great.
Carolina. And the New York Islanders have both won 7 in a row as of Friday night, making them the top teams in the Central and the East, which is surprising because I kind of thought the Bruins would be holding that down for a little bit. Kind of interesting thing on Carolina's way to the top. They actually got a lot of love from the shittiest team in their division, the Detroit Red Wings, Wednesday night, as they beat Tampa Bay 6-4. Islanders had it a little easier because they played our beloved Buffalo 3 times to get in stride, but then also took a game against the Bruins. Isles have a 2-point lead in the East as of Friday night, and they will have played the Devils by the time this goes out. I think they're slated for a 1 o'clock Eastern puck drop there. But game of the week, I think, is on Wednesday as they play the second place Caps. That will be a fun little thing to watch. By the way, Florida The beloved Panthers are still holding it down in third place in the Central. And if they're gonna have any hopes to hanging on, they got to beat Chicago. Who after?
Which
Well, go ahead.
shit.
Go
No,
ahead.
I don't have shit about Chicago. I don't have a specific.
Um, which after I pointed out they have gone they've gone 500. Like Florida has 5 points on the fourth place Hawks. Yeah, I don't know. It I don't I feel like I don't need to cover every division anymore. Like the top four teams in each are kind of like running away with it. Save for maybe the West and the East, but like Central has it on lock, and like I don't know, the Northern Division. There's nothing really even to talk about other than like Milan Lucic is just fighting everybody, and Calgary
Big
sucks.
scary man.
Yeah.
Very scary man.
With that
That's like
being, oh sorry, go ahead.
no. I'm just reiterating everything you already.
He does. He
Shut
has
up.
this strong brow.
He does. He's got a crazy. Yeah. I mean, again, he looks like earlier humanoids.
He does. But yeah, I kind of stopped watching a lot of other teams other than like the Bruins and the Wild. But with that being said, the Wild have been very, very fun to watch this week. They split a series against Phil Kessel and the Desert Dogs, beating Vegas twice at home. Kaapo Kakinen, the goalie for the Wild, has also been on fire, and he's currently tied with Nicholas Backstrom for the longest winning streak at 8 games. Beating Vegas is a really fucking big deal. It puts the Wild within reach of the baddest boys in the West, which is Vegas. Friday night, Creel, the real deal, dollar bill, got his first hat trick and just looked fucking
Hey,
great. They play Arizona this weekend 2 times after playing them on Friday, and Colorado this week. So kind of a big week for the Wild if they want to take a push for first.
cemented.
Hell yeah. But
I
yeah,
thought the pre-snap hat trick was really fun. It was really cute and not like it was just indicative of his like amazing skating and just anything else.
yeah, he's like a fucking yeah. He can skate. The last goal was fucking amazing. Wild got an empty netter, and then like they got the puck brought down into the zone, and Kirill just kind of was just like, "Oh, there we go. We're just gonna take that first
Ha!
hat trick from me, okay, there.
Thank you.
Thank you very
Thank you.
much. I'll see you again Saturday
Really
night."
happy to be here in the country.
Um,
He's such a cutie too. He's a little cutie.
he is. He's just like so,
Little,
so
his little
stoked.
pure face. I know. He's like so happy about which good for him. He should be happy about his life.
Yeah, remember how like a year ago everybody was like freaked out if he was gonna actually come just because
Yeah.
like
For
Ilya
years now, Corey.
for years, and just because Ilya
Okay.
Kovalchuk pulled a fast one on like the
Yep.
Devils and shit, like
Save them though. If you look into that fucking contract was absurd, and they got went null and void when he left. I think it was like 14 years, like some ungodly sum of money.
yeah, no, and yeah, I want to say that's why you can't front load contracts anymore, like you can in
Yep.
fucking baseball.
It was the one. Yep.
Um, but yeah, as I said, I'm not gonna really spend much time covering the North anymore. I'm just kind of burnt out on it. I think it would have been more exciting and still will be, but mostly the most exciting thing that's going to happen is maybe Winnipeg making a run on Toronto, which I don't really see happening. And for me, the novelty of Canadian teams playing just Canadian teams kind of lost on me a little bit.
Did it wear off?
It did. I love the rivalries, and I look forward to Canadian teams playing Canadian teams being the main event on my hockey schedule next season when it's a little bit more of like a novelty factor. I was really excited at the beginning of the season to have a bunch of like battles of Alberta and cool to see Montreal. It was cool to see Montreal firing off the gate because everybody thought that they were going to be trash. But as of Friday, there's 21 points between first and last, which is the biggest spread in any division. Austin Matthews is just like a machine. He has 31 points, excuse me, in 26 games. It's just kind of insane. Toronto is
I think
maybe,
he's the best offensive player in the league. I'm sorry.
I
cutting you out, but Austin
no,
Matthews is crazy.
it's absolutely fine, and I completely agree with you. Toronto has a 6 point hold on first, and Vancouver has a 7 point buffer from not being Ottawa. Um, I think that's gonna just kind of be the story, and I know that we have to take, our bets this week
We
on
do.
the Northern Division, but I'll let you go first if you
It is my turn.
want.
Sure.
Do you want me to read
Uh,
off the standings for you so you can
no, I
kind
got it
of get?
right here.
Okay.
Uh, I think Toronto stays in first. I think because it's Edmonton and I want to make it exciting that the Jets overtake them and take second. It's totally not. But and I think Oilers in third. And again, I just want to open it up for some change, even though again, I don't think this is gonna happen. I'm gonna say the Flames overtake the Canadians.
Maybe. Maybe
Probably not.
it's possible. But I mean, I think it would be more exciting if Vancouver overtook those two teams. I just don't see that happening. I think
Happen?
yeah, I don't know. I think the same teams minus Calgary makes it in, but I think Winnipeg will make a run on Edmonton and get second seed. And then Toronto, Winnipeg, Edmonton, and Montreal, I think will make it in. But
Okay.
I don't think Montreal.
Got a unit then.
mm, uh,
No, I. They're not
Yeah,
gonna do shit.
no, they're getting swept. I just don't see a team other than Toronto making it into the Final Four. And I was thinking about it as I was writing this shit up last night. It kind of feels to me, because I realized that March Madness is still happening to some degree. Now with
Oh,
like all
right.
of the divisions being all
Yeah.
divided up and it's not really seeded, it does have like a
Yeah.
kind of college basketball feel to it.
That's real. That's totally real. Except they're yeah.
But yeah, Vancouver.
Let's talk about Vancouver.
I kind of feel like they could be the next Ottawa. Um,
Ha! That's brutal.
and I was just looking over their contracts. All a bunch of their players, their rookies and people coming off ELC's entry level contracts. They're not really living up to the hype. Elias Pettersson, not really doing much for them.
He's
Not
still a good player.
He's a good player. He's not
I
a
think
piece
he's
you.
gonna still be good. He's like 22, right?
Yeah, he's not a piece that you can build around. I don't think.
No. No, Bozer is, but that's it.
Speaking of Bozer, though, they're woefully unprepared for the expansion. They gave pretty much everyone who is not on an entry level contract under decor no movement clause, including Nate Schmidt, who is a 5.6 year cap hit until 2025. Kind of ties their hands. They have to expose Bor Horvat, JT Miller, and most importantly, Brock Besser.
Wait, they have to?
Yes, they
They
have
don't
two.
have. Whoa.
They have too many no movement clauses. It's kind of
So they
brutal.
can't off anybody. That's crazy. They're gonna give up their only generational like,
I mean, if
or
you,
or they'll give up a first round with him with Bo Horvat.
yeah, I mean, either way, like Bo Horvat,
Yeah,
JT Miller, and Brock Besser, like you can't like those are core players, and I
it's
feel like
funny because you said you were gonna talk Vancouver, so I like looked it up last night and I wrote down those three names as like the only bright spots on that entire fucking team.
right, and I feel like those are good players to have. You lose one, and I
Yeah,
feel like you lose like the ability to maybe
a
put
lot of forward momentum. Because Bo Horvat's only 25. For some reason, I thought he was like older because he's been around forever. Also, Jake Vertanen is only 24, which feels crazy. He's not very good, but
yeah.
he's been around forever. Anyways, yeah,
No, and that's the thing too. I feel like if you luck out and you get a top three pick,
yep,
you kind of lose the the depth and you put a lot of pressure on your new promising player because you kind of have to play that. Like you don't want to play them with a bunch of like old bums who can't skate. You want to
Yep.
put them with a nice
Something.
seasoned vet. Yeah. Um, and also they have a no movement on Braden Holtby.
Yeah.
And Thatcher Demko is not a remarkable goalie, but you kind of think about, your situation, not having many players. You kind of want to preserve some cap. You might have wanted to roll with Demko this season.
I keep Demko over in their situation. I absolutely keep Demko over Holtby. Also, Demko's 25, so
Right.
Braden Dudnik his stride at 28 or whatever.
Exactly. Holtby has 1 year left on his contract. Also has a no movement clause. So they're just, I don't know. They're gonna. I feel like one, if they don't lose a a player up front, if they get to keep Bohab
Yeah.
at JT Miller and Brock Besser, decor is not remarkable, and if
Very remarkable at all.
Seattle takes Demko, they're gonna get sucked into overpaying in free agency in the next couple seasons.
Yeah.
And with that being said, they have a lot of cap tied up in their old aging decor, and they just like really won't have a remarkable sum of money to fix the depth up front and put a good piece in net. I don't know. It seems kind of bleak, honestly, for me, and
Does not look good.
I'm not gonna make any bold statements about Ottawa, but with like Stutzel, who actually does look like he's playing pretty fucking well and is gonna be a superstar in the NHL. The better Kachuk brother and Batherson, I really like that kid on the D line. And they're not doing great this season, and I think Ottawa's probably slated to get another good draft pick.
Yeah.
They at least have hopes of not being the laughing stock next year.
They have a future. Yeah.
Given
Real quick,
what's up?
I just want to make fun of you for suggesting that any team would take Thatcher Demko over Brock Bozer if he's available in the draft.
I was just trying to give Vancouver hopes.
Sure. I got you. I'm just saying. But even then, it's like they're still fucked.
I could name 3 better goalies that will be available, and they're just like, I know, but like, yeah, if for some reason Vancouver is like towards the end of the draft, and they're like, oh, we picked up we fucked over a bunch of really good teams. We're kind of cherry picking. We could really use a second or third goalie, in case one goes down. You're looking at Demko. It's not really the worst idea.
No, I actually don't hate Demko. I think that he's been on a really subpart. I think he's probably going to end up. Look at Darcy Kemper now, who's still 26 or 27. It takes time.
It does.
I don't think that Demko's not a piece. I think he's kind of a piece. He's not a piece that I would take over.
Fuck no. Absolutely not.
Yeah.
But yeah, I also just real quick want to touch on some ladies hockey real quick. NWHL announced on Tuesday that they're going to finish the tournament, which was called a month ago. The final 4 in that tournament are Connecticut, Whale. Is it Whale or just Wales?
I don't know. That's a good question. Wales? Probably Wales.
It just says Whale on the website, which I
Connecticut
think
a specific whale, they have a mascot whale.
It looked like the big-headed blue whale with a thin-ended tail, which rhymed.
Maybe beluga.
Yeah, I know. I don't know, but yeah, they play the Whitecaps and the Boston Pride take on Toronto, and Toronto just said Toronto. I think they go by the 75s or 76.
Okay.
I don't know.
Why are the names such a mess?
I don't know, man. You can't pay for good marketing when you're broke, I guess. And it's just like a bunch of boring rich white dudes, I bet, that are like, oh yeah, just name
I'll buy
we'll name the hockey team the Pride and the Connecticut Whale.
Maybe the gays will like us.
Yeah.
That's what those fucking rooms probably look like. They're just sitting there. Yeah.
As a bona fide homer, I think the Whitecaps, of course, have the best shot at taking the Isabel Cup after last time it was awarded in 2019.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do a deeper dive next week
Okay.
to hype up the anticipation of the tournament, and also the WCA, the ladies college hockey is going to be going on the same time. I'll touch on that. Gophers got hosed on getting kicked, not invited to that tournament. Um, and I
Oh
will
shit.
do a Dream Gap tour recap. Um,
Okay.
I wanted to do a
Okay.
little bit of that, but weather got really nice in Minnesota, and I just was really focused on getting my motorcycle running.
Corey's got a really cute purple motorcycle.
It's true, I
Uh,
do.
it's really nice. I was trying to come up with when you did your little name my motorcycle Instagram thing. I had a couple. I had some heat, but it's since left my mind.
I got so many. I think like 4 people were like, "Name it Purple Rain." Like I seriously got like 6 people.
Wow, what a brilliant concept that nobody ever thought of before.
Right,
Prince.
purple rain. Yeah, no, seriously, 4 people were like purple rain. One was like name it eggplant, and I was like, that's kind of funny.
Kind of funny.
One was like
Yeah.
name it Joker, which I kind of was like, that's no.
I don't think so.
And then Margarita was like, name it the grape ape, and I was like, that's actually not a bad idea, but I don't really dig it that hard.
You don't dig the Grave Ape or the motorcycle?
Oh, the grape ape name.
Okay, okay. I want real quick. Did you know that there's a sequel to Purple Rain?
What?
I want you to look up anybody who listens to this. I want you to look up. I think it's called Graffiti Bridge, and it's got like the same people. What's his name?
What?
Uh, it's great. I haven't actually watched it. I'll be honest, but I've watched the trailer probably 60 times in my life, and it's like this is like my party trick that you're all getting right now. Is you're trying to like come up with a new little flirtatious engagement. But there's a sequel to Purple Rain, and then you pull out your phone and you show the trailer,
That's
and the rest is sex, folks.
insane.
Yeah, it's worth your time. Everybody, watch the trailer.
Oh my god, that's insane. This is real. What is
It's real.
this?
No, it's real. It's crazy. Also, real quick, while we're discussing lady sports, I just wanted to make fun of that piece of shit Oklahoma basketball announcer. Did you see this?
Uh,
He was announcing the high school girls tournament, and they knelt for the anthem. And classic old white people don't know when their microphones are on. He like muttered something about fucking n words or whatever when they were kneeling during the anthem, and then he gives this apology that where he's like, I he like basically is like, I still think it was wrong of them to do, but I had low blood sugar and therefore used hurtful terms,
what a
and I'm
joke.
sorry for doing that. I just don't think that diabetics like spout. I don't think that that's like a symptom of low blood sugar is that you spout racial
No.
slurs.
Yeah, I saw that this
Oh,
morning right after. I saw that, and then the next thing in my feed was cops driving through George Floyd Square, and I just like, well, I was like, all right, I gotta get out of bed and
it's a
like,
pretty horrible first thing to intake in the morning.
yeah, no,
Sorry.
no, yeah, it's fucking dumb. The truck, there was somebody driving a truck and like, oh, it's a high speed chase, and they went through George Floyd Square, and the truck driver waved at them at the camera, and it was just like, you guys are just like trying to intimidate these people. I don't know.
Fuck
It upset
that.
me really bad.
Yeah, it
Anywho,
should. Yeah, moving on.
you're up. You're up, bud.
Oh, sorry. I have a couple. I'm gonna be more of. We're talking bummers, and so I'm just gonna keep running with it. I promised a Clint Malarchuk dive. Um, great, great. I just can't stress this enough. The rest of the story is gonna be, but great hockey name, Clint Malarchuk.
It's true.
So in 1989, this whole story is a fucking content warning. I don't know why you're listening to us if we're bad at it. He gets his throat slit in a game by Yui Krupp in on March 22nd, almost coming up in a week. Actually, we're like at 9 days or whatever, the anniversary of it. A Sabres defenseman. He's on the Buffalo Sabres. He's a pretty good goalie. Sabres defenseman flips an offensive player who skate blade comes across Clint Malarchuk's jugular. If you've seen the video, I mean, his hands immediately go to his throat. It's really fucked up. He's like just gushing blood, like
Yeah,
it happens when your throat gets slit. He miraculously lives. The Sabres trainer was a naval or army engineer or something and made it to him in like 7 seconds and immediately applied pressure and probably almost
saved his
certainly saved
life.
his life. Yeah, for sure. It's actually like yeah, not that I'm like woo woo army. It's like a very amazing thing, and I'm sure that it was. I'm sure he was very grateful to have that trainer on the bench. There was a he went to a press conference the next day because hockey's stupid. I remember Sidney Crosby got his jaw broke by like a slap shot and was playing like 2 weeks later maybe, which is crazy. He like wore the full cage and people talk shit or whatever. But this is a whole other level. He had a press conference the next day where he said like hockey dude things about how he was going to keep playing. He'd just been traded for like a first and a second round pick or something crazy. Um, he was known as the cowboy goalie. And I think he was kind of like he was kind of a cowboy. He was a drunk. He was like a hip dude, whatever. But he has a press conference the next day, and he's playing 10 days later. He's in goal again. Um,
Jesus Christ.
it's
What is
crazy.
wrong with hockey players?
I don't know, and it's in some ways coming from the food industry. There's this like, as a cook, and I've done it now. I regret it, but like people talk shit about people who like take sick days, even if you like are actually horribly ill. If you like cut yourself on the line, you take a sick day, or you like whatever. It's like a show of like you're not like chefness, and it's fucking stupid. But the
Sure.
hockey players have it like in a much worse
Yeah.
capacity. I don't know. The toxic masculinity is strong in the league. Um, so he's playing 10 days later. He ends up playing in hockey for 11 years, two-time All-Star. Um, retires, becomes a goalie coach. He's bouncing around. He is the goalie coach for the Columbus Blue Jackets in 2008. Uh, it seems like he's been I wasn't there, but it sounds like he understandably he had a rough childhood. His dad was abusive. All the classic sad hockey Canadian poor boy tropes. So he's a drunk. He gets left for the fourth time with his fourth wife. She calls him and tells him it's over. He gets really drunk, starts calling his wife over and over, his ex-wife now, or soon to be ex-wife, separated, whatever, over and over again. She comes over to his house where he's in drunken, fucked up stupor. Uh, 2008 again, so years after the hockey incident. And he reaches out. There's a 22 rifle next to him, and he apparently like locks eyes with his wife and says, "There's debate about whether he says, 'Look what you made me do,' or 'This is the help I need,'" and he shoots himself in the fucking head with this rifle in front of his wife.
Jesus Christ.
Bullet, yeah, it's fucked up. It's like really. Also, the actual victim of this story is his like family mostly. Not that I mean, he got it worked out because it also didn't. He didn't die from this. It gets stuck like millimeters from his brain or whatever. 22 is like a pretty small caliber, and I think it's not like the number one ideal for trying to kill yourself. Which
Whoa.
I'm just saying. I think thank God it was a 22 rifle that he had next to him and not a 45 or something. He doesn't. He ends up going on to therapy. I think his poor wife stays with him for a while. Shit's also fucked up. And if she hadn't been there, I'm sure he would have. But she immediately called the police, and he survived. Um, it's again, I just have to stress that I think it's a dick move to his wife. He like waited for her to show up.
No,
Uh,
absolutely.
he goes to therapy. It's like I don't know. The rest of the story is like turned his mind around, started to believe in therapy, and great. And he credits it with saving his life. He apparently lives a much healthier life. I think it things suggest that he got sober. It's not fully proven. He was a reckless motherfucker. Apparently, as a goalie coach, he would show up to practice in like a suit just soaked in blood from bar fights the night before.
Jeez.
He just like I think he was it was a wild life. Anyways, that brings up I thought that would be a nice foray into discussing CTE, chronic traumatic encephalopathy, is what
Bless you.
CTE is for. Thank you. It's a progressive and fatal disease associated with repeated TBIs, traumatic brain injuries, which are typically not always, but typically represented by concussions and blows to the head. Really, it's just like anytime your brain shakes, it's not great for you.
Which,
Um,
if I may,
yeah.
uh, finishing a check at slow speeds can do the
Yep.
same thing. It's
Yes.
Adam Ruins Everything has a very shitty but good episode on sports, and the focus is on football, but the contact could be related to any sport where there is any sort of bumps or anything.
It's I mean it's all the time in these like contact sports. It's and I it, yeah, he knows more. You should watch the Adam Ruins Everything thing because I'm sure that he does a much better job discussing it. But it's a problem in pro sports, especially the NHL. Um, in 2011, three NHL enforcers. You're familiar with this pass as a result of suicide or overdoses between May and August.
Yep.
Rest in peace, Derek Bugard, Rick Rippon, and Wade Belak.
Yep.
Uh, Rick Rippon, if people are not familiar, was like 5'9", but was like really tough. There's a video he fights Hal Gill, who I think was 6'9"
Six.
or
He's like,
something.
yeah, he's huge, and he
He's
weighs
like
240
6'10".
pounds.
Yeah, and Rick Rippon's like in there boxing on his ice skates. Real quick, goofy foray. I was looking up like NHL brothers, and I don't even remember who it was of the video, but he's got two brothers who are in the NHL. But he's a lacrosse player, and I don't think he's really a lacrosse player. I think he's a tough guy. And in lacrosse, they like hockey fight, but they're not on skates, which I just think is goofy because it's also like a mandated. It's how they're trying to sell the game. I think. Also, lacrosse is a co-opted sport from indigenous peoples, and there's more research to be done on that, and people should talk about it. But the idea of being a lacrosse enforcer, like they just stand in place and like fist fight. Like there's no like skating or balance to be thrown into it, and I just think it's really funny. Unlike the NHL enforcers dying, which when you do more research is like kind of an epidemic. You think about Bob Probert and
Yep.
I have a number. Todd Ewan and Bob Probert fought like three times in their career or something like that. They fought twice in one game after Todd Ewan knocked Bob Probert out cold in the first period. They both end up
Jesus.
dead before 50 because of all drug or depression related things. 2011, this like these guys passing and all of this other shit coming to light. A suit is filed by former players with concussion issues. You may recall Dan Carcillo talking a lot about it. Dan Carcillo is a bad person, but he's right about concussion stuff.
If you don't mind,
No, please.
Daniel Carcillo also has been very outspoken about this issue, and it has some. His message is there, and I'm behind his
Yeah,
message presently. And I also admire him for ruffling the feathers of a podcast which should not be named, but he got their attention, and those rich fucks threatened to sue. I think they did, and Carcillo had to kind of like back off them. But Carcillo is very much a pioneer for introducing
He is.
psilocybin as not a cure, but an avenue
Treatment.
to treat TBI, and
Yep.
he's using his platform to get funding for research and shit like that. So, kind of,
He
he's
did have he did have that shit, and he apologized, and it seemed sincere. But he did have that shit come out about him in juniors being super homophobic and racist and like hazy and fucked up.
yes, yep, yep.
And so I think again, I mean, we can acknowledge, uh, but I agree. I think he's a pioneer, and he's been very vocal, uh, and he plays in a lot. He played in a lot.
You cut out.
He had a big role in the lawsuit, not as a participant, because he said that people shouldn't take the NHL settlement, which I'll get into in a second. But I cut you off.
No, you're
Sorry.
good. I'm done. I'm done now.
Okay. But yeah, Dan Carcillo, very kind of an important figure in this whole thing. So a civil suit is filed. Some people may know that the NFL had a massive settlement for a civil suit in regards to CTE, and the lawsuits for both basically state that the league knew about the potential dangers, and people have been aware about the dangers of CTE and concussions for years, and they intentionally kind of smothered those reports and did their best to not have it come out. The NHL publicly, in when this lawsuit comes up, says that there's no link between head injuries and like suicide or all of this other shit. And even when it's not as like dramatic as people passing, I think there's a lot of really fucked up shit. People talk about chronic migraines, suicidal ideation. Thinking about I read a thing when a guy's talking about how he just kept imagining murder family, and you have to be in dark rooms for days on end, they say, because your migraines are so intense. And I think CTE, it sounds like a really horrible time. It's a fatal disease. Uh, these emails end up having to be published between Gary Bettman and his top lieutenants. I didn't want to say that, but that's how it was written, and I think it's so fucking stupid that they call it his lieutenants.
So
Like they're
weird.
a fucking army when it's just like a bunch of rich dudes mitigating how people get injured for the rest of their lives, making a ton of money doing so. But between him and Brendan Shanahan, among others, and in these emails, they basically all admit that they know that CTE is a thing. They talk about how the league has changed. Brendan Shanahan has this really like horrible and stupid fucking email about how it's worse now and guys don't know how to handle it. But in the 80s and 90s, tough guys, 80s and 90s, they played a different role. This is a quote. Wanted to be players. They used to use booze and coke. Now it's just all pills. Like like somehow self-medicating with like
Booze and
booze.
coke.
I'm like, honestly,
Rockstar Brendan Shanahan here.
as a recovering junkie, I can much more identify with opiates being like that your doctor gives you because you're in massive pain all the time. Fuck you, Brendan Shanahan. What a
Yeah.
stupid,
Yeah, sell that to the players union, you cheap piece of shit. Like,
you
yeah.
cheap fuck. Like I just also you weren't a tough guy. You benefited from them, but you weren't a fucking tough guy. You knew Bob Probert.
And I was just
You
gonna
were
say,
fucking
yeah, like what a piece of shit. You're fucking the
what a
guy
fucking
that
piece of
guarded
shit.
you when you were a rookie is
Yep.
dead because of this.
He took concussions so that you could have your like epic fucking NHL career. Fuck Brendan Shanahan.
Beat
Fuck that New Detroit team, except for Darren McCarty and Bob Probert. Good chill.
McCarty is real.
Um,
McCarty
yeah,
officiated my buddy's wedding. I told you this before,
that's
but
right.
it's yeah. Oddly enough, my buddy has a TBI from getting T-boned in the middle of the day in downtown Minneapolis by a drunk
Ugh,
driver. His buddy
fuck.
passed away, but yeah, McCarty met him,
Is
and
that
then
how he knows McCarty? They like
I
did some.
I think so. I'm not completely sure, but somehow he got a hold of him. He officiated his wedding, and they're like buddies. Uh,
What an epic wedding! That's a great
Yeah,
story.
dude, and I don't want to trail off too hard, but I just have to add this in. I met this guy through a buddy, and he literally has Lindstrom 5 and Yzerman 19 tattooed on the back of his
Oh my God.
calves.
Oh my
I was like,
God.
dude, this guy fucks. Like, I love this kid.
Thank God it wasn't Chelios, because then I would have had to be mean about this person.
Yeah,
It's Chelios.
he can't.
Little cheap shot. Fuck.
Yeah.
Anyways, now, yeah. That's really tight. So NHL argues no link between hockey and any brain damage. They literally said that. They said there's no link between hockey and any brain damage. Which is fucking stupid and not true. I just think that the NHL money paid them a real amount of money because it's a real issue. A bunch of players end up being a part of this suit, 318. Um, they finally reach a settlement for, I don't know, it works out to what sounds like a large number, but when you break it down between 318 people, amounts to 22,000 per player involved in the suit, with up to $75,000 of medical bills paid for. Which, like, if these guys have been dealing with it for 5, 10, 15, 20 years, $75,000 in medical bills isn't really shit.
No.
And 22,000 is definitely not worth, like, probably not being employable anymore. And I just think it's fucking a shame.
Yeah, I think I might be wrong. I think though, the NHL, if you get your pension from them, they cover your health insurance.
I hope.
I feel like
It's
that
still
should be a
fucking
thing.
bullshit. 22K even is like,
No,
no,
absolutely.
that's, yeah, I hope that that is true. I don't actually, I don't, I didn't do the, I just want to take a moment to, I'm a quiet Penguins fan for those who don't know, but Sidney Crosby was kind of a dick about this whole thing, and made like a very even keel statement in which he was like, players know the risk, like blah blah blah. This is what happens. I've had concussions. Like, I don't know. It's a little bootlicky. I don't love it from Sid. I'm sure he doesn't give a shit what I have to say. Take his money to Nova Scotia and laugh his way back. Um, that's about it. Although I just want to real quick have like a little. Well, sorry, I should give. Do you have anything else to say on the CTE thing?
Yeah, I do. I think
Yeah.
the NHL is trying to cover their own ass
Yep.
by giving. I mean, it's clear when you settle, you're trying to cover your own ass. But then, in the same regard, um, after that lawsuit, numbers in fighting also dramatically dropped. I don't have stats in front of me. All players are supposed to wear visors. And even with the uniform, when they changed the uniform, the whole reason they did that was to restrict movement through fighting,
Yeah.
which I think that's good.
Yep.
They also kind of, after the lawsuit, they really hunkered down on hits to the head and have Brad May as like head of player safety because he is an expert on shots to the fucking head.
I think it's weird that they keep hiring all these fucking goons to be the head of player safety.
Well,
George Bush, Brad fucking May.
yeah, no, and that's oh no, it is George Peros, but they played on the same team together. That's why I got them mixed up.
Okay.
But I feel like they're just trying to make with those hirings. I think you're right, but I think like they're still trying to be like, oh, this big bad old enforcer said that this
Yeah.
isn't okay,
Yeah.
so it's not.
But
But
Brendan Shanahan was head of player safety before that, wasn't he?
yeah, yeah, he was.
And look at him.
No, absolutely.
No, I mean I hear you. And I think there has been positive change.
But yeah, I think I don't know. It's it's weird because you think of CTE and you immediately think of fighting, and I think like this is a whole
Yeah.
another episode. But I don't know. You look at fights, and I think it's very rare to see a player go down due
Yeah.
to a punch to the jaw. I think with the visor, I like that the players are protected. Still think
Yeah.
like I think you can still from
Their
a
heads
hockey.
are still shaking.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think you can still send a message, and I think it
Yeah,
still is like a show. But I really hope that it's like mitigated by like the jersey
me too.
and the
And look,
helmet
I
thing.
love fighting.
Yeah.
It's fucking fun. It is. I had meant to with Vancouver. I was gonna make fun of them because they have a 35-year-old Jay Beagle signed for $2.5 million, and I just don't understand how that's even a thing. It just feels I don't understand. But I was gonna say this. Jay Beagle got knocked out by Aaron Asham after. Well, no, it was before the full suit. Okay, you're right.
Um.
Guys still get concussions. I
They
don't think it's all fighting's fault, but I
no.
think it still happens.
They do, and I think in a world where UFC rakes in millions and
Yeah,
millions of dollars, I think if I'm not I want players to be protected, and I think that goes. There's measures you can take on the ice to
yep,
where there's mitigated risk. I think it's clearly a risk to play a contact sport. I think going forward, it would be nice, and I know that this isn't like the end result
yeah,
here, but I think it's worth noting. The NHL should be very transparent and visible about
yeah,
funding CTE research,
yeah,
um, allowing players to fight and like take hits, but then like, dude, these players should be protected for the rest of their fucking lives. And I think you
yep,
need to own and take care of your own. Like, if you're gonna make money off these players, make sure that they're insured and taken care of
yes.
for the duration of their lifetime.
And that's part of what I think is fucked up too about the original settlement is some of those dudes played in like the 90s as tough guys, so they were making like I don't know what $200,000 a year or something,
Yeah,
which is like not that there's a dollar amount on your life being ruined, which is what happens to some or your life in general, but like if you're in the league now and you're making close to a mil minimum, it's way different than being like, oh, I was a tough guy for 4 years in the 90s. I made $420,000 and now I can't work a job for the rest of my life. But thank God the NHL gave me 22K so that I can rent my apartment for the year. I
right.
just, I think, yeah, I think you're right. It's moved positively. But yeah, I just think that's,
No, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, I guess what I was trying to say is like you can have it both ways. Like you can sell your game and be violent, but like
yes,
fucking make sure that you're like at
yes.
the forefront of like taking care of your own, you
Take
know?
care of the fucking people. My mom wouldn't let me play football, although she did let me play hockey, which I think is a little goofy. But um,
Sure.
I remember in '98 when the Vikings had their one like really good year. I was like, "I'm gonna play football, mom." And she was like, "No, the fuck you aren't."
Oh man, I played football for like a season and then I like I was like in 6th grade when I started, but dude,
Yeah.
I like kind of I was playing in Brooklyn Center where there's like a bunch of like really bad kids and they all were like tougher and stronger than me, and then my
Yeah.
dad like helped coach to like be involved, and um one of the coach like my dad didn't know something, and the coach called my dad an asshole, so I got to play one fucking football game where I was on I was special teams, which really meant I only went out there for the kickoff, and I got
That's
to
like
be
when they put you
on
in
the.
the outfield
I,
in like third grade where nobody hits out there.
yeah, exactly. So I played football for literally one kickoff, and then that was it.
It happens. I'm gonna end on a more positive note for myself and talk about the one, the only Rosu. How do you say that? It's like by St. Paul, the St. Paul suburb. Roseau,
Roseau?
Roseau.
That's not St. Paul, bro.
It's like, isn't it a suburb?
That's like a suburb of like Canada. It's
No.
way the fuck up there.
Is it?
Yeah.
All right. I don't know anything outside of Minneapolis or.
Roseau is. Oh my god.
I
Yeah.
don't know. I don't understand. I don't understand other places. Even in Chicago, I have friends who are from Aurora and friends who are from this other. I don't really even remember. But I just like I told them all that they lived by each other, and then they met, and they were like, "Oh, I heard you grew up by me." And it turns out they're like 3 hours away from one another.
Hold on. How far is Roseau from Canada? Um, well, fuck. It,
Oh,
it's a whole like, dude. It's gotta be. It's showing me to Winnipeg, but I don't want to dunk on you that hard. But it's not far from Winnipeg, and it's
how
doing it in
far? How far?
kilometers. Uh,
200 kilos. So it's
no, no,
200.
no, 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 no. It's 201 kilometers from Winnipeg, but it's fucking. I gotta pick a city here. Um,
Just do. Yeah.
Shelf
So it's
Junction,
like Ely, Minnesota. It's like up there.
dude. It's 22 kilometers from the first city on that side of the border.
All right. Well, anyways, fucking
Sorry.
Dustin Bufflin was born there. Although I think did play in the cities in high school.
Didn't you go to Shattuck?
I think he did. Yeah, maybe I made that up, but it's something like that. Dustin Bufflin is now, and I don't know, maybe this was CTE. Who knows? He's now like not retired, but is retired. There's some weirdness contractually with the Jets, and they dropped him, and I don't understand why or what happened. But up until that point, he was a dependably very, very good hockey player. He started in the league for Chicago. Um, Primarily played defense. He's kind of like Brent Burnsy in his defense offense scenario. I think he prefers defense, and he has mostly played defensive for his career. But he for a decade or so he was one of the better offensive defensemen in the league. He's huge. He's like 6'5" and like kind of thick. He's like the Kent Herbeck of hockey. He once reported to training camp at 302 pounds. He's like 6'5", which I know is like not a crazy weight as a human, but it's a crazy weight as like a hockey player.
Yes.
um, he had to lose like 45 pounds, but he was still like, he's like so good. He's just like a thick boy, and I love it. He was the first U.S. born, although I apparently just very technically U.S. born, but the first Black U.S. born Stanley Cup winner. He won a cup of the Blackhawks in 2010.
What? He's not the first black. What?
He's the first Black U.S. born Stanley Cup winner.
Oh, I feel. Really?
Yep,
Jesus
that's
Christ.
what the internet told me.
Where are we? God damn, it just
I
seems
know.
so
In
weird.
2010,
Where the
it's like
fuck are we in
100
the world?
years
That's like
after hockey
disappointing.
started. I know. Yeah, that's not like a proud of America fact, but it's a proud of Dustin Bufflin doing your motherfucking thing. Corey sent me a video of him. People should look up his goal Jordan Bennington, who I don't even remember what he did. When he was like 18 or 19, he said some fuck shit. About, I don't know if it was LGBTQIA hate or racist hate, but he put out some hateful shit. So fuck Jordan Bennington. And it's this amazing Dustin Bufflin like clearly like angles the puck at the back of Jordan Bennington's helmet and scores off of him. He's like,
Yeah, you could tell he like banked it right off his
yeah,
dome, which I feel like you as a goalie, I don't think he you kind of want to get in the net there and cover all your
oh yeah,
bases. Like
yeah,
I don't know, like it was
yeah.
obvious too. Like
He's
you
a
see
little
him
too
go
far
down in the
out.
corner and you look up to the net and it's just like, oh yeah,
Yeah,
I could.
Big Buff's gonna take that every time.
Yeah.
He
Gosh,
is.
Robert Dome. He was suspended from the Jets, though. I know this
Yes.
for not returning to training camp,
Yeah.
um, and also he got surgery on an ankle sprain
Okay.
that was not authorized by them.
Uh, okay.
Which I kind of feel like, um, yeah, he's not gonna show up to training camp because his ankle's fucked up.
Yep.
And, like, what is he going to do? So I kind of feel like maybe the Jets just wanted to shed cap or something, and maybe
Sure, but it's weird
Dustin.
because he scored like 50, 60 points the year before.
Sure. I don't know. It's
Yeah.
also,
Go ahead.
he was like interviewed too, and he lives in the fucking woods with like his kids, and he just
I
kind of
was just gonna
seems
say
like whatever. Like he doesn't really give a
he's
fuck. He's made
he's
so much
fucking rich.
money.
He's like a
Yeah.
Northwoods boy. He wants to like fish and hunt for the next rest of his life. So let him do his thing.
Yeah.
He's probably made $50 million, something like that. I saw him at a restaurant. I've probably told you this story, but with Stacy, we went to we went to this place Au Cheval here, which is like it was like the original bougie trashy hamburger joint. You know how that's like the new thing. Everybody's trying to make like a Big Mac, but it's like $19
Yeah.
made with wagyu or whatever. Au Cheval is like the spot, and they have other shit. It's like a vague Jewish diner concept, I think, like matzo ball. But he was at the table next to ours, and I stared at him the entire meal.
Did you?
I did have the grace not to go up to him.
Oh, you didn't talk to him at all.
No, but Stacy, they were kind of annoyed at me.
Really? Why?
I just feel like every time I'd like take a bite of the burger and then go stare and like watch him eat his like they had like the bone marrow or whatever at the table. And I was like, they were just like, it's just some man's that is like your dad's size. I don't know what to tell you. It's like doesn't mean anything to me, Sam. We were supposed to go on a date. We waited 2 hours for this fucking burger. Stop looking at the hockey player.
2 hours.
Yeah, Ashaval had this stupid shit. No meal's worth 2 hours of wait, but it's a really good burger.
What? What? You can't just. Why did it? Did you get to watch them harvest?
No, Oshaval, that's the thing is like this was years ago when like people went to restaurants or whatever. I guess people still do go to restaurants. But it's just always it was that hot of like a dinner spot for like 3 years. There was like a 2.5 hour wait anytime you try and get there.
And they
They
wouldn't take reservations or nothing.
no hell no, you ain't got to if you got that kind of wait.
That's fucked up.
It's yeah, it was crazy. There was a like a trendy overpriced bar next door, so that's what you do. You go and you get drunk at like it's called the Lone Wolf. I worked for a different restaurant that their architect designed, and I hated the chef of that restaurant. The whole story.
Right on. What's up for next week?
You've got a little. You got the Lay Day dive.
I do.
Uh, I don't actually know what I have. Everybody, I coming back for the week, so we'll see where it takes me.
Sick. Cool, man. Well, shit. When are you coming into town?
Tomorrow, on my birthday. Everybody, it's my birthday tomorrow.
Happy birthday.
The second
Happy
time.
birthday.
Birthday.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday. What time are you coming? What
This is
time?
actually what Corey's birthday voicemails sound like.
It's
What
true.
they are.
I'm good. I'm good at pumping tires on other people's birthday because I expect a fucking red carpet on mine.
Good little tourist boy.
People better take off work. We're getting up at 4:30 in the morning to watch the fucking sunrise, and we're gonna go get fancy cinnamon rolls, dude. Good espresso. I'll do the same for you though. What time are you coming in though?
I'll be in early, and then I'm gonna go get set up at the Unicorn House.
Okay,
I'll
interesting.
be there by like 7 a.m.
Damn. Are your parents listening to you record this?
No, they get here in a few hours. I have time to try and pack that bag.
Just pack your whole house, man.
Pack the whole damn. No, I'm not. It's not time yet.
All right. I will see you soon, I'm sure.
Yeah.
All right.
Great. Bye.
Bye.
Just how much we love you, and I'm sure you would agree. What could fit more perfectly than to have a world party on the day you came to be? Happy birthday to not have a David Woods. He said, aside for his recognition, because it should never be just because some cannot see. The dream is clear as he, that they should make it become an illusion. And we all know everything that each different time will bring. Or in peace our heart will sing. Thanks to Martin Luther King. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Why has there never been a holiday? Where peace is celebrated all throughout the world. Time is overdue for people like me and you who know the way true is love and unity to all of God's children. Should be a great event, and the whole day should be spent in full remembrance of those who lived and died for the oneness of all people. So let us all begin. We know that love can win. Let it out, don't hold it in. Say it loud as you can. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Ooh, yeah. We know the key to unity of all people is in the dream that you had so long